Hello and welcome to another edition of your favourite podcast, Insane in the Membrane.
Insane in the Membrane.
Sausages. That's the theme. It's not. That was part of the theme in this week's episode, sausages. We were having a chat about sausages with this week's guest. And we sort of decided that I don't know anyone. We talked about this in the episode. Don't know anyone that doesn't like a sausage. I mean, there must be someone. If you're listening to this, and you don't like sausages, drop me a line. I want to talk to you because I don't know what you do with your life if you're not having sausages. This is this episode as well. All jokes aside, this is quite a heavy episode. We talk about suicide, and I'm telling you this up front. So it's a bit of a trigger warning, so people aren't, they're not surprised by it when we get into it. That's why Ali came on, not just to plug his show, but also to talk about what he'd been through. We both talked about how our dealings with it, how we coped with those thoughts and feelings, and Ali talks about what he went through. And so I want you to know, at the top of the gig, that's what this is about. So sausages, yes, sausages and suicide. Wow, that'll be quite the album, wouldn't it? That'll look good on the merch. Anyway, so just so you know, in this episode, it gets a bit heavy in places, but it's dealt with in a way that's quite light-hearted. So just so you know, that's coming up. Ali Brice as well, a top lad. He had to do this outside of his office because he's having renovations done. So we start off in a park, then he ended up in a corridor. So there's a bit of movement. There's some sounds, outside noises, but you'll get it. You'll get it. We address it in the episode. So thank you, patrons, for all your continued support. Thank you to you lovely listeners for keeping listening. We really appreciate it all. And listen, let's just get on with it, shall we? Let's just bloody well get on with it. So coming up in a minute is the brilliant and wonderful Ali Brice.
Insane in the Membrane.
Welcome to Insane in the Membrane with me, Rich Wilson, and this week I'm joined by the mighty Ali Brice. Hello, mate. And he's in the park.
I'm in the park. My office is shut and all the booths are taken up.
So he's out in the park.
Here we are in the park. Yeah.
I keep seeing you outside. Every time I see you, it's outside. Like I saw you at Mac, and you were wandering up the street. Do you ever go indoors?
No, never. Why would I go indoors? I go indoors to work and I come outside to have fun.
Yeah, that's a lovely way of looking at it. Yeah, that's wonderful. How have you been anyway? You good?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks.
Excellent.
Enjoying myself.
Yeah.
The sun's out, so it's that time of year when everything, feels all right.
Do you know what? This is my favourite time of year. That kind of air. There's an air of anything is possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Even though I was saying to this, we've just done we just had a podcast guest in the studio, and they turned up just as I was dealing with O2 and Barclays Bank, and it's amazing how different even dealing with those people when the sun's shining. You feel you can't. There's still an element of like, well, I'm sure we'll get this sorted. Whereas if it's in the winter.
Well, you can look out the window and feel bright, can't you? Yeah.
Even though there was a moment like, I'm going to find you, and I'm going to just do the thing I asked you to do. I'm not trying to stitch you up. I'm trying to stop you from stitching me up. But anyway, yeah, good. So anyway, yes. So it's nice to have you on. And it's a very chilled affair. We talk about all manner. If it goes wherever you want it to go. Cool. It's all very nice. But I was looking at the bio, the write up for your latest show, and it says that you're out. You're embracing life, loving life, and sausages were involved. Do you like a sausage?
I like sausages. Yeah. I talk a bit about sausages when I specifically. The sausages in Heinz.
Oh, really?
Beans and sausage in a tin. That's the what that refers to. I guess, but I put that in because I guess the show's. I mean, it's all about mental health and it gets quite serious. So in a blurb, it feels like you need to show people. And sausages kind of hopefully makes them go, oh, it's not all doom and gloom. I like a sausage. I like bad sausages, and what I mean is low quality.
Right.
I think they're the best sausage. So it's not just Heinz beans and sausage and the tin sausages, although I do like them. Sausages that burst on a barbecue.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Like, we're talking Richmond sausages.
I was going to mention Richmond. Yeah.
They're like, it's a good sausage. I think a lot of people would say that's not a high quality sausage, but it does exactly what you want.
Good in a sandwich, your Richmonds.
Exactly. And I also like fish and chip shop sausages.
Oh, yes.
Battered sausages. Like, you can't go wrong. But again, people would go, that's a disgusting sausage. That's a bad, low-grade sausage. But you're like, that is a beautiful sausage. It's delicious and it makes me very happy.
Sounds like the sausage police are on the case.
I was going to say,
flying overhead. What's he saying, Richmond?
Yeah, he mentioned Richmond. Send them out.
A chip.
And you'll know. Sorry, I was
on.
going to say. No, and City Cafe in Edinburgh. You must have been there. The first time I went to the Fringe and said, "Can I have a sausage supper?" and it came with 2 sausages as standard.
Yes.
I was like, "What the? Where's this been all my life?"
with the chippy sauce as well.
Yeah. Beautiful.
There's the disco chippy, which is down over by Leith Walk, and so you go there. And they have like music, like a DJ on in the chippy, and everyone piles over there. And that was the first time I went in there, and I'll have sausage and chips and 2, and they're not just they're 2 jumbo sausages.
Yeah, they're big. Yeah.
And I couldn't believe my luck. I was just, maybe it's been a mistake. Maybe they did it by mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Quickly shut the lid and sneak out.
As much as you can shut it with 2 broom handles in there. But it's one. I think sausages. I don't think I've ever met anyone that has said no, I don't like them. I think they're quite a universally loved food.
Yeah.
You know? And
how can you hate a sausage?
How can you hate a sausage? That's the thing. So I think it's look at us now. We're debating it. We're talking about it. It's a great thing to put in the bio of what is it, like you said, which is otherwise quite a serious show. And because it deals with you. Didn't you attempt to just off yourself?
I did. In 2018 October, right? I think it was.
And then what was it that? It's a bit of a clunky way to get into it, but
no, it's fine. I mean, we were going to get it's natural stepping stones, isn't it? Sausages and suicide.
Well, I think if you're
a tale as old as time.
A man who's tired of sausages, is tired of life.
I mean, obviously I wasn't happy, and I think it had been brewing for a while. And I was drinking a lot at that time, and kind of there's stuff that happened a long time ago that I hadn't dealt with, and it just got to a point where I was like, it's weird because I always was like, I didn't plan it, but I actually you're not allowed to discuss methods. You have to. I work for Movember, the men's health charity, so kind of alert to all these things, but. I'd say I didn't plan it, but I went online and I bought like dodgy Valium, like from www.
Oh, really?
Like fakedoctor.com. That wasn't a thing, and then just got really smashed. But something switched, and I was like, all right, if I drink these 2 bottles of wine tonight, I know that I'm not my inhibitions won't be there, and I just took them all. Whereas before, I never reached that bit, even though it was always an option, and I was considering it. Something switched, and I was like, I think, I was just and then it's that classic thing. I just didn't talk to anyone about it. I was out with people that night. I think I'd done a gig in the Camden Comedy Club maybe, and then went out with some friends, and it's that classic thing, happy as Larry, seemingly, but in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, I think tonight I'm going to go home and that'll be that.
Did you feel when you had that thought? You had that thought in the back of your mind all night.
Yeah.
Was there a feeling of relief or a feeling of okay, or were you upset that you were thinking that way?
No, I think probably a feeling of relief, or not even relief. I think it was just quite matter of fact. Really, it was like, oh, this is going to be it, and then it wasn't. It didn't feel like this. I guess I'd always imagined it would be like a huge thing, you'd be there in the moment, going, well, this is it, this is like a massive decision. I might not be here tomorrow, but it was like so every day, just so matter of fact, like almost peaceful. And I was smashed, obviously. So, like I was fucking hammered. So I wasn't thinking clearly, even though I can remember the moment. But it was everything was, I guess, dumbed down or muted by alcohol. So when I think back now, there was no note. I wasn't really thinking about anyone else. My life didn't flash before my eyes. I didn't think about my family. It was just like, take these pills and go to sleep.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a bit weird. And then subsequently, obviously, then I was living with some people, Adam Larter, who you probably are aware of. Yeah, so who I went to uni with, and he found me, and I don't really remember it. Like him, because of weird, like those 3 days, they're like, it's all a big blur. But then I went to the doctor and was like, this happened, and went to therapy and stuff. And it was only when I started reflecting on it and then felt really sad that what if I had died? Then there would be no note. And then my family and my parents and my friends would be like, what was that about? And then I felt really sad. I feel sad thinking about that now. Yeah. Because it's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, gotcha.
Awful. Yeah.
I nearly did it, and it was only as I was walking to go and do it, I started to think about my sons, and I just started crying. I'm like, I can't do it to them. It's whatever I'm going through. It's not fair. It's not fair to do that. Do that to them. Yeah. And
it's terrible.
Yeah. And that's the same with you. You've got loved ones and people that do give a shit, even if whatever you're going through, you might not think so. You will be missed.
And then, like literally the next week, I started working at Movember, the men's health charity. And I told my manager, I'd worked there on and off since 2011. Great place to work, I love it. But so I got a temp job there, and then I was obviously seeing all these stories of people doing therapy and people who have depression and people who have attempted suicide and people who have lost loved ones to suicide. And I was seeing these messages every day, and I still at that point hadn't sought therapy. It took like 9 months or a year before I started doing therapy again, because I felt shame.
Oh, really?
Even though at Movember you're telling people every day, there's no shame in therapy. There's no shame in talking to someone.
No, not at all.
Like, just do it and it helps. And it wasn't until I'd started doing therapy and was maybe two or three sessions in when I was like, oh, this is incredible. This is like the best thing I've ever done. Why did I feel so much shame? And then so I went through, that was just before lockdown. Then I did 2 years of therapy on Zoom, which was fine. It was as good as face-to-face therapy. And obviously we didn't have the Fringe, so I didn't have those like stresses that you usually have every year and being worrying. And then when it came time to do another show, I was like, I think I'm going to do a show about my therapy and my suicide attempt, but make it a positive thing and not use it, not like at 40 minutes ago, then I tried to kill myself and have everyone be sad. So I just say it right at the top and then talk about therapy and how good it is and how positive it is.
I think
it's funny. It's a funny show.
But that's it. But isn't it? It's when we had Ishan Akbar on one of the earlier episodes of this, and he talked about when he tried to do it, and he tried to. It's such a ridiculous story when he was telling me that we were both laughing at the ludicrousness of it all, and he really gave it his all, but he didn't take into account physics, and which is what stopped him doing it. He was pushed back onto the platform, but it was. I think we have to look at it like that, and talk about it in this way, so that when people that may be listening or having similar thoughts can go, it is ridiculous. That's how we deal with this. There's no point sitting around all po-faced and being all serious about it in a candlelit room.
Well,
this is how we stop people doing it.
You just got to talk about it and be matter of fact. And I wanted to write a show that if I'd seen it in 2018, I might have gone, oh wow, okay, that I relate to that and I feel like that, and I can talk to someone and I don't have to do what this guy did.
Yeah.
And people have come up to me afterwards and been like, thank you, and sent me tweets and gone, I really, like, I felt seen and thanks for sharing that. So it felt, and it was the trite thing of like, if I help one person, if only you reach one person, then it will all have been worth it. Obviously, the truth is, if I hadn't reached one person, but everyone had pissed themselves for the whole 3 weeks and gone, that was a really funny show, that actually would have been enough as well. But I did. I did. It's not like I'm, I want the laughs. I want people to have a good time. I don't want to feel like a powerful king. But I did reach one person, and like several people messaged me, and I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And it felt brilliant. So, which isn't, it's kind of, you can't guarantee that that's going to happen. No. And sometimes you kind of worry that people are going to be like, oh, did he just take all those pills so he'd have something to write a show about?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's convenient he survived, isn't it? Because now he can write a show about it.
It'd be the best show ever if you hadn't.
Yeah.
And then he's still writing it. Wow, he's still performing from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
Talking about suicide, let's just get stuck in. I think it's crossed more. The reason I say this is it's crossed more people's minds than it hasn't.
Yeah.
So there is that thing of, if you're having suicidal thoughts, then there's something wrong with you. And it's like, no, I think it's just the pressure. This has been said in there before. I think if things get so much, you just go, I don't think you can even comprehend what it would be like not to be here anymore. I think it's the fact that I just want this shit, this horrible feeling to go away.
What do they say? Long-term solution to a short-term problem. Yeah. It's like, basically, it's never, ever as bad as needing to end your life. No. But in the moment, it feels like, oh yeah, that makes loads of sense. Like that's the only thing I can do to make me feel better, because you just want to switch off your old brain, because that's the thing that never, ever, ever, never shuts up, does it? And when you're in that bad place, it's very difficult not to listen to it telling you whatever it is that the worst things you're thinking about yourself.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Everything, and the thing is, assumption plays such a big part in our bad feelings of ourselves. We're always assuming that people don't like us, or assuming that people would be happy if we weren't here. It's all assumption. My wife we've had many not arguments, but heated discussions, and I've gone, this is all assumption. You've assumed everything. Right. This isn't. Nobody thinks that. Nobody's thinking that. Nobody feels that. You're assuming people think that because you feel bad about yourself. And so, we need to have. This is why we have these conversations. Yeah,
that's what my girlfriend is always saying. Well, that's your brain. Your silly brain's telling you that. Like, whatever it is, or someone doesn't like me, or I don't want to do that, or I said this thing to someone, and they're going to be thinking about that. She'll go, they're not thinking about that at all. No. That was like 1 second of your life, and they're not thinking about that ever again. No. But he's like, why does your brain think like that? Like, I think you're going to get fired, or you're at the fringe, and we can relate to like, no one's going to laugh, or blah blah. That's just stupid brain. But then the flip side was, because I kind of met her in May 2018. She came to a preview of mine that was billed as being an hour, and I'm generous if I say I did 12 minutes. It was one of the worst, one of the worst things ever. Then we went out and got smashed. I was still drinking in those times and still hiding it from people. Yeah. I had made the decision to give up drinking. Okay. Hiding it from people is, it's more hassle than it's worth.
There's a lot. I think that's the same across the board. It's like when I was my behaviour wasn't great. I put more effort into hiding my behaviour than I did if I'd have just been up front and just not been such a prick. Yeah, I'd have been all right. But the amount of effort that goes into lying is just phenomenal.
Yes, man. Yeah, it takes up so much headspace. Yeah. It's like it's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job being a lying sack of shit.
Yeah, for like moments of like release where
Yeah.
you wake up and feel worse, and then the cycle begins again. But I think part of my issues, mental health issues, is that I only ever lived in the moment and was thinking of, I only ever dwelled on the past. And then one time I went out and got drunk, and I think we were invited round to someone's house for a roast dinner, and I said I can't come, but I went out and got
Right.
smashed. And then at like 5 in the morning, I sent Beth an email that was like, I'm really sorry. I don't know why I do this all the time. Like, I mean, I'm here and whatever. And then we had a chat about it, and she said, I don't think I can be with someone who keeps doing this. Like, I don't know what that would be like in the future. And it's the first time I'd ever like the concept of me in the future had ever been like brought up, really, because I never thought about the future ever.
No.
And then suddenly there was someone going like who saw me in the future, and it really like blew my mind. I can remember it being like, fuck me, like, oh, the future, and the future with this person that I love and who's incredible. And it really changed my thinking, because up until that point I only ever thought about how sad things from the past, and like how awful it's been, and like, dwelling on things.
Yeah.
So that and then like later on I did therapy, and so now I like really can see the future, and it's a much happier place to be. You still enjoy the moment,
Yeah.
and you still make good memories, and you still think about the shit times, but you don't really, they're not a thing you hold on to.
No.
And it's like, that's been awesome. It's very tough to someone might be listening to this going, oh yeah, I think about the past all the time, and it's an incredibly difficult concept to flip your thinking and be like, I'll never ever have that. I'll never be able to think about the future. But
Yeah.
you can if you work at it and you talk to people.
Yeah. I think it's the actual, you really have to put an effort in. You have to physically say, I know I do. I have to say, come on, man, let's come on. You're focusing on all the shit bits. Like someone said to me recently, all the things you've done in the past, all the shit things and all the bad things that you worry about, the things that wake you up in the middle of the night, they're all just memories, and they're probably only your memories. There's a few things that you did that were probably not you, but I mean, they're like collective you, that you're not proud of, and those are the things that wake you up. And there's probably someone else that your behaviour affected, but even they've got their own shit going on, and they're not waking up in the middle of the night going, fucking Rich Wilson, what a piece of shit. They're going, oh, that fucking idiot from 2006. What was his name again?
Yeah.
Rob. It just, it's you have to let this go. It's happened.
Yeah.
And focus
exactly.
on going forward. And what I was saying before, when the connection went, you and I oscillate in the same area, so we know of each other. We we haven't really spent any sort of quality time together.
Yeah.
But knowing, here, names get banded around all the time, and people. But it's always been Ali Brice. Oh yeah, top fella. Or nice dude. There's always nice things attached to your name.
Yeah. Oh,
and
nice,
and I would have never have guessed until we talk about you coming on the podcast. And I remember when someone said, "Oh, Ali wants to come on, and we're going to talk about this, and I was like, Ali Brice, really? And I was so shocked to find out what you'd gone through. It just goes to show you that you just don't know what people are dealing with.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what's happened to people.
No.
Which is why it's important to have podcasts like this, and for people to speak up if you want to. That's why I think it's and not just celebrities. People like me, normal people who no one has ever heard of,
No, but we're in an industry that we're in this industry that so people some people do know who we are, and on whatever size sort of platform we have a platform nonetheless, and I think it's important that we use it in a good way, especially if we've been through this stuff and we go, right, I don't want anyone to feel this way. It's such a horrible feeling to get to that point where you think there's no hope. There was zero hope. And it's pointless. Again, assumption. You assume that nobody cares if you stay around. And that's why it's important to have the conversations, because then someone's going to go, no, I need you here, dickhead. I need you to talk about sausages, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that, you know, this podcast exists because of what I went through. You're here now talking to me because of what you've gone through. It's already a positive, Valley, Brice.
Yeah, exactly.
See? It's already working.
Yeah. And people will listen to this.
Yeah. See? And then it spreads. And then we met, and then people start. Do you know what? There are some decent veggie sausages out there now. Anyway, just so everyone's happy, there's a decent sausage for everyone now. Cheese is still a long way to go. The vegan cheese, man.
Cheese is. Did you watch that documentary in lockdown? What was it called? It was the one about vegans, Game Changers. Yeah. And then everyone vegan for like a week.
Yeah.
And my housemate at the time tried to make vegan cheese, and it's one of the worst smells I've ever smelled in my life.
We're just boiling some shoes.
Yeah, it was boiling shoes and the fucking yeast flakes or something.
Oh God!
And then made macaroni cheese, and everyone was going, this is delicious.
Oh, this tastes like a melted bin lid.
It was rank. Yeah, and then you open the fridge and you're like, oh, fuck's sake.
I was in Manchester, and someone said, "Come on, we're going to go to this." What's it called? Dirty Pedro's or something like that. If I've got that wrong, I'm so sorry. But it's a bar, and they do these pizzas in there, and he went, "Oh, the vegan one's amazing," and it was fucking nasty. Just this horrible spread, savoury, nasty. But Cathedral City are doing a vegan cheese now. I've yet to indulge, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
You don't need to indulge.
No, I don't want to get involved.
I'm not a vegan. Any sales they receive is going to go down as a positive. It's the initial interest of the skeptic meat eater. Let's try this cheese. They sell 1 million blocks of cheese and go, we're on to a winner. And then they'll make more of it. No, we have to not buy it, or not buy any of it. Not buy any of it. Yeah, because they'll have this big spike in sales, and they'll go, oh yeah, and as you say, make more. And then they'll just... Yeah, or they'll probably go, yeah, look, all the meat eaters twats bought it out of curiosity. Yeah. We only ever made that much. We only ever wanted to make that much so we could make money off their curiosity. Forget about it.
You pieces of shit. We know what we're on to. Ali Brice is on to you, man.
Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you? But how do you feel now? You're out. Do you feel you're out the other side? Do you still have those thoughts now and again?
No, I honestly, I don't. I did 2 years of therapy, and I went in with a very specific thing and kind of dealt with it, and then it was costing. I went private, just because it was, I did go NHS initially, but they offered me like cognitive behavior, metacognitive behavioral therapy, which was slightly like you don't talk about why, you just deal with how you can stop thinking those things. Anyway, it didn't work for me, and then I went and talked to a few therapists and went private. I got a couple of adverts, so I could afford it. Otherwise, anyway. And I did 2 years. I absolutely loved it, and it got to a point where I was talking about how frustrated I was that my housemates weren't washing up their cups, or how they don't wash up properly. And I was like, I think I'm ready to leave because I don't need to talk about this with a therapist. This is stuff I can just like deal with on my own.
150 quid an hour just because there's a cup upside down in the sink.
Yeah. So I said, I think I'm ready to leave. And then I did. And it was obviously a bit weird. And then suddenly you don't have that outlet that you've had every week for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it took a little bit of adjusting, but I did feel so much better. And I'm like a better person. I'm more positive. I've got a better outlook on life. And no, I don't feel suicidal. And if I do think about it, it's like very fleeting and never in the way I used to. It's like not. I'm not considering it as an option at all. Yes, I feel like my life is completely. People talk about, oh, you've completely like changed your life and you've completely turned a corner. But like before therapy, you know, I was single. I was a pisshead. I was like taking money out a cash machine on a credit card outside a bank, then going into the bank and handing it back over the counter to pay my rent.
Oh, wow.
You know, I was like fucked.
Yeah.
And then I've got a job, and you know, comedy's going all right. And then the things you do off comedy, like auditions and stuff, you know, adverts come in, and you kind of think, oh yeah, this is all right. I've got a girlfriend. I'm in love. I've bought a flat. You know, it's like complete 180 on what it was before, and like doing things I never ever thought would be possible.
Yeah.
So it's not really. It's all through therapy and a conscious switch, like we were talking about. Think about the future. Think about positive things. Stop being sad. But it's not like I went, oh, do you know what? I'm going to get a girlfriend, and I'm going to get a job, and I'm going to save money, and I'm going to do this. It all happened from making positive changes in my life. Because if you sit someone down and go, oh, are you feeling sad? Are you in loads of debt? What you need to do is you need to get a job and get loads of money, pay off your debt, get a girlfriend, buy a house. You'd be like, what? No, what are you talking about? That's so much pressure. That is so much pressure.
Oh, I'll just go and get all that, shall I?
Yeah. But if you say to someone, go and like, how are you feeling? Just talk about what you're going through. That's what changes, and then from that, amazing things can happen.
Yeah, it's energy. I think it's that. I talked about this earlier with somebody else. It's the positive energy that you radiate, and then people are attracted to that, and they want to work with that, and they're like, oh yeah, well, you're always I get it. There's so much that goes on a subconscious level when we meet, when we're around each other, that we don't even realise is happening. That there's a feeling, people, that vibe. You know, when you leave, people go, I really want to work with that person. I really liked being around them. And that's what comes from that positive energy,
exactly.
You know? Yeah. It's a nice vibe. I get a nice vibe from you, Ali, Brice.
Oh, thanks very much. Likewise. We were talking about, this is just to be a comedy nerd. I used to, I went to uni in Kingston, and I used to go to Outside the Box every Monday. So I saw you loads at Outside the Box when I was like in like 2000 I was at uni 2005 to 2009.
Oh,
so
mate.
I saw you there in those
early
days.
doors, man.
I got very, very vivid memories of you before I'd even. I was sitting there with Adam before we'd like dreaming, going, "Oh wow, that was like the first live comedy I saw on a regular basis." And obviously, spoiled to Outside the Box.
Great gig.
You saw all the circuit comedians. Saw all the like TV comedians, and that's when I first kind of saw. I think Frank Skinner was playing the first time I went, which was cool. But then I saw like the circuit comedians and was like, "This is fucking! I love this so much."
What an introduction!
I've got. There was one. Probably shouldn't. I don't do it anymore. But I've got some bootleg recordings of you from like 2000 and something. Like I just recorded.
Oh my God.
I just recorded one night Outside the Box.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can dig them
That
out.
is amazing.
I think You may have. I think you might have been emceeing. It was a night you were emceeing, possibly.
It was one of those gigs that Math, because I met Math at a Mirth Control gig, and then he was the MC and I was the open spot, and we were doing it, and then he goes, come and do my gig in Kingston. And then I was there nearly every week. I was always down there. It was fucking great.
You were there loads. It was great.
Oh, good times, man.
You had a joke about carrying a green door that I remember for someone, and then I've got. I think me and Adam talk about it every now and again. You described your belly as a glazed donut that had been dropped on a floor.
Oh, I need to write some new material.
Or dropped under a bed.
That's it. Yeah. Drops on a barber's floor.
That was really funny. Yeah, Barber's Floor. Yeah.
I need to write some new jokes then, because I'm still doing them.
It's a Stone Cold classic.
Stone Cold classic, mate.
But I do material that's like nearly 15, 20 years old, but not everyone's heard it.
Yeah, someone else said that to me.
Not everyone's heard it, and why would you deprive them of that?
Genius.
And also, it saves you some time because you don't have to write anything. You can go and do something more interesting. I fucking hate writing.
Sausages.
It's horrible. Yeah.
The writing bit, new bits come to me when I'm doing something else. So
exactly.
But it's always, I can't just sit down and go, I'm going to write something today.
No.
It's like the minute I'm working on a brand new show and it's got nothing in it that's been anywhere else. And that's the hardest thing, because normally my stuff kind of evolves and becomes something, but this is brand new.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's like soul destroying, and you'll write for hours to get, 10 seconds.
I know.
That bit worked. Cool. I'll do that.
I'm glad you're feeling better, and those thoughts. You know what? I was watching a film. I won't say which. It was a Tom Hanks one, the latest Tom Hanks one, and this subject sort of pops up in that, and I haven't finished it yet, but it was brilliant. It's a brilliant film, and it made me it just made me sad that people get to that point where they're like, oh, there's just no point in being here now, and you go, well, there is a point. There is a point. The fact that you exist is such a magical thing. But it's a real shame that you feel like it doesn't matter. Of course, it matters. I know there's loads of us.
It absolutely
matters. Yeah. But there's so many that didn't make it. So many eggs and sperm that didn't make the journey, and you did, and now you're here. I say it quite a bit on here. It's and I say it to remind myself. It's such a magical thing that we exist.
It is. It's overwhelming if you think about it.
That's true. But
you've got to I think about it. You're like, I was going to say, what's the worst that can happen? But that is kind of. It seems an inappropriate thing to say. But when you're thinking about how bad stuff is, it's just like, well, it's only fleeting. It'll get better. Yeah. I think if you think, I used to really, really worry about being homeless and not having any, I'd worry about having said I didn't think about the future. If I thought about it, I'd only ever worry about it. But what's the worst that can, if I'm losing my job, what's the worst that can happen? I just get another one. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Which is true. If that doesn't work out, if this thing doesn't work out, you just go and do another thing. More or less that's going to happen.
Yeah, you're going to end up somewhere.
And there'll always be people. Yeah, exactly. You'll end up somewhere. So it's fine. Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah.
That is one, and that's cool.
That was an ex-partner of mine, Marilyn, and she was a bit older than me, but a beautiful woman, wise, so wise. And I used to worry about debts and bills and things like that, and she just didn't give a shit. She's like, I don't care. She says, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm not going to be homeless. I'm not going to die. No one died. They'll have to figure it. We'll figure it out. We owe them money. We haven't got it. We'll figure it out. Someone's something.
Exactly. It's true, though, isn't it? And it's such a freeing way to be. You're just like, it's fine. Whatever will be, will be.
It'll get dealt with one way or the other. But you offering yourself is not the one.
Yeah. That's the one thing that isn't. That's not the thing.
It's not the thing to do. If you're listening to this, it's not the thing to do. Yeah. Whatever you're worrying about. Go and talk to someone, talk to a mate. If you haven't got anyone like a mate to talk to, just remind, if it's money and things like that, if you've got credit card debts and things like that, ring them and just say, look, I've done this. You're not the only one that's done it. I've done it. Everyone's done it. But if you speak to them, they'll go, well, you got to pay it. And you go, well, I can't. Or what do you want?
Yeah.
I've got a spoon and a bag for life to my name. What do you want? And they'll figure it out. But you don't want to do the other thing. That's not the one. It's not the one, man. There's someone here that loves you. And then you get to chat with us about sausages.
Exactly.
I'm glad you're out there, so mate. I'm glad you're there. You've got a glint in your eye, Ali Brice. I like that.
Yeah, you've got to have the glint in an eye.
Yeah, I think so. You got that lust. You got that lust for life again. I like to see it, mate.
Yeah.
I like it. Ali, this has been lovely, mate. So your show is going to be where?
It's at the Soho Theatre on July the 3rd and 4th at 9 p.m. Dream come true.
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited.
Is this your first time there?
Yeah. It's my first time there.
Excellent.
Yeah. I've tried to get in before, but they haven't. Didn't think it was good enough. But this year it was good enough.
See?
That was my ambition for this Fringe, getting at the Soho Theatre. Because my previous ambitions have been get famous, get rich. And I've kind of been more realistic. This year, I was like, just aim for the Soho Theatre, and it happened.
It's amazing.
And I think it's what you were saying about positive energy.
Yeah.
I'm not all like cosmic and
No.
whatever. I don't think, but I think you set yourself a little goal. If you work hard and you do a good thing, it can happen.
See, that's what you did. Yeah, you stuck all your energy into this show, and now there's a real sense of achievement when you get to a place like the Soho Theatre. And I think, you know, if you think back to the person that was drinking and the person that was, you know, had all those pills, imagine how elated that person now, if you'd have said to them, well, look, don't do this because you're going to end up at the Soho Theatre, they'd have gone, go fuck yourself, what are you on about?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, totally.
But look at you. You've achieved so much.
I've done it, but now it's replaced with what do I do next? there's always the next thing,
mate. There's always the next thing. This gets discussed on here so many times. There's not a destination. There's just an ongoing journey of little stepping stones of things that'll happen, and then one day nature will take its course. But it's exciting. It's exciting.
The next thing. Yeah. The next thing's exciting.
But you've already, when I look at the things you've already achieved, you know, you've done so much already. It's you know, you're
take stock.
You're having a fucking great time.
having a nice time.
You are, man. You are, and it's great. So we'll put a link up to the show for tickets and things like that. When this goes out, where can we find you on social media?
Everything is at twice Brice.
So, nice.
Nice and memorable. When I did the first one, I didn't really anticipate it should just be at Ali Brice, but it's at twice Brice.
Lovely. That's great, man. That's great.
Thanks very much.
Lovely. Thanks for coming on. Sorry about you having to dick around in the bushes and wherever else you've been.
Oh, that's all right. No, I've come. I don't know if I can. I can't flip my camera around. I'm actually sat outside the office that's being refurbed.
Oh, are you?
In a doorway. I'm just in an empty office surrounded by buildings.
Do you know what I was doing?
So I didn't think the Wi-Fi was.
I was just looking around the corner to see if I could see round. What am I doing?
That's the it's just.
Oh shit! Yeah, look at that. Okay.
It's just an empty, just in a corridor.
Just sitting in the corridor.
That toilet there. Yeah. That toilet there is where I first had a chat with. I know you're wrapping this up. But that toilet there, that's where I first had a chat with the guy I ultimately did therapy with. So I was sat on a closed loo, and he was like, "Yeah, so why do you want therapy?" And I was like, "Well, I tried to commit suicide."
Wow.
Sat on a toilet.
There you go.
Try not to let my colleagues.
Well, that's the first time we've had that. We haven't been shown an actual location of a turning point.
Yeah. That's
there
it.
You go.
I shifted it.
4 years in, and we've got that. We've got the moment where Ali Brice went, you know, I need to have a chat with someone, and it was in a toilet. Yeah. Lovely. I've had some magical times in toilets as well. Well, that's for another day. But Ali Brice, thank you so much, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure.